I'm going to introduce you to the gripper and the new Safe Rip Index that comes on it. So if you've done any woodworking at all, you know that the problem with a push stick is it wants to push the piece away from the fence because we're pushing on the back here and the friction pulls it away. So what do? We put a second hand here, a feather board, or maybe a second stick, and we try to make our cut. The problem is, if you're making cuts and you can see tool marks on here, you see those swirls? That's from the back of the blade, not the front. And you can prove it to yourself. If the swirl goes up and to the front, that's the teeth from the back of the blade rubbing on the board because it moved away from the fence. The gripper works differently. We're going to hold the parts from the top down using a high friction rubber on the bottom of the legs. I'm going to create a tunnel that the blade goes through underneath the gripper. So I'm controlling both the rip side and the off-fall side, keeping them parallel to the blade all the way through the cut. I'm not going to allow these to rub against the back of the blade. I'm going to get a cleaner cut, and I'm going to reduce the opportunity for a kickback if one of those pieces catch. It's all about the safety, but I'm going to give you a better cut at the same time. So let's see how that works. The gripper comes with a 1/4 inch leg on one side, 1/2 inch leg on the other. It's reversible. I'm going to set a cut for 3/8 of an inch. I can go down to a 1/4, but I don't have a zero clearance insert, so I'm going to do 3/8. I'm going to make a cut with the gripper, and you're going to see how it works, but it's a little different than what you might be used to. So let's see how that goes. Now, what's different there than what you may be used to is, number one, the off-fall didn't stop here next to the blade, rattling against my blade. I was able to bring it back around with me. My rip piece did not fall off the back. The gripper gives me the control to bring it around back with me so I'm not reaching across my blade to get the part. These pieces are exactly the same position with each other than before. All I did was remove the middle. That's the level of control that the gripper gives. Notice that there's no little annoying nib here that you'd normally have with your off-fall. And look at the quality of that cut. There are no tool marks. So you know that proves that this stayed parallel to the blade all the way through the cut. The gripper gives me that level of control that's available no other way. And it's very versatile. So I'm going to drop this blade down. I want to make this cut. But this is no good, right? We don't want anything moving unexpectedly. Every gripper comes with the balance support. This can be mounted on either side of my gripper. And what it does is I set it to the top of the table. So now my gripper is level and stable, even though it's only standing on one leg. Now I can make this cut, but I don't want that off-fall coming back at me either. So I'm going to bring my center leg over. And once again, I'm going to control both halves of the cut. The leg, though, is really, really close to the blade here. How do I make sure I'm not going to cut into it? That's the new Safe Rip Index. All new grippers come with the Safe Rip Index, but we also have an upgrade kit for your older gripper to put this technology on there. So this cursor attaches to your center leg, and underneath it, there's a scale that we put on the gripper. Whatever the measurement is here, you want to make sure that it's not under the orange. This orange represents where the blade is going to cut. So in this case, we're at 3/8 of an inch right there on the red line. My cursor shows that I'm not covering the 3/8, so I can make this cut safely. Try making that cut with a push stick. And once again, perfectly smooth, excellent cutting, and my fingers were never anywhere near the bits and blades that want to bite me. That's the gripper advantage.